All right, so I've gone ahead and repeated the process that we just looked at for the rest of the lines here across here. I was noticing as I was doing it that the matching pairs all pretty much could have the exact same animation. So the inner left line and inner right line, and then outer left and outer right, they all match. So I just gave them the exact same uh, animation and keyframes and everything just to simplify my code and to reduce duplication. So we see that that's now working pretty well. We have this whole main section now animating up. So let's take a look at how we can finish it off with these squares in these last two lines. Again, the process is going to be very similar, but we might run into a few issues with it that we want to make sure we kind of play around with and get looking good. So I want to now manipulate the line top and line right, top line right and top line left here. So because these other ones have mirrored and matched, we can assume these probably will too. So I'm actually going to target them at the same time. So line top right, and then line top left. And again, we're going to create this exact same setup here with our stroke dash array and our stroke dash offset. So we need to come now to Illustrator. We want to select this line, see how long it is. So it's 13,307. So I'm going to change these to 13.307, and then 13.307, and then we'll rename this animation to crown lines top. So if we kind of quickly just look at it, we don't have the keyframes yet, but we see that it has changed for us nicely. So now let's make our keyframes. I'm just going to duplicate this because it's pretty much set for us already. Rename it, crown lines top, and then make sure we put in the right dash offset to start. And then I'm just going to delay it a bit. And we should see that working pretty nicely for us here. So if we took a look at it here, mine are actually now going the wrong way. So what we might want to do instead is put a negative number in so that they draw in the right way. We want to come from the bottom, not from the top. So what we can do is we can just come in here and change these to a negative number. So now they'll draw in the right way. We're also getting this weird issue where we have these dots sitting in there that doesn't look very good. So what we can do for that is we can actually increase the gap a little bit, so that way there's more space, more empty space essentially to come off. So we're going to increase this to a gap of 14 we'll do, and then we'll just increase each of these, and that will essentially create enough of a gap that they should disappear and then draw in nicely. Because essentially the gap is bigger than the line, so it becomes fully invisible, transparent for us. So now that we've got that looking nice, and both of those are going well, let's take a look at our squares here. So I'll start with the left side here. So I'm going to find my square left. I'm going to target that. Likely for this one, we can probably use the same animation for our square, just so that because they essentially need to draw on and they're all the same size. So we'll start by actually targeting all of them. Hashtag square, center, left, and right. We're going to drop these guys in, like in all the other ones. We're going to come to Illustrator here. I'm going to select a square, find out how long the path is. So it's 28.577. Put that in, 28.577. Drop that in here and here. And then let's create some keyframes for that. So this one, we'll call it crown squares. Drop that in here. And then again, we'll drop in these numbers in here. And we'll just delay it a bit more so that it, again, creates that nice offset animation. I'll take a look at how that goes for us. So they're drawing in nicely, but if you notice as they look, they're drawing in from the left side and not from the bottom. I'd rather they draw in nicely from the bottom because that will then look like it's all connecting and drawing it in. So what we're going to need to do is rotate our squares here so they draw in. And then it would also be kind of nice, I think, to have the top one delayed a bit more than the rest of them. So we might need to make a unique animation for that one. So let's first start by rotating. So it looks like they need to rotate by just 45 degrees to be sitting nicely. And so let's take a look at this center one. So I'm going to add a bit of rotation. So it looks like I have a transform already set here. It's got a transform rotate. So what happens if we just put that to 0? Is that going to rotate the right way or the wrong way? And it didn't quite go the way we wanted to. So let's increase that rotation by another 45 degrees instead. Oh, still not enough. I think this negative 135 that we have in that lower one will probably be what we want. There we go. So now it's rotating nicely from the bottom center point. So we should assume then they probably should all have it. So we'll just duplicate that up here. So now when we take a look at it, they're all rotating nicely here. That's great. So now all we need to do is add a little bit of delay to our center one here. So what we can do for that one is we can just create a unique animation for that. So we'll just duplicate this one. We'll do crown square center just so we know it's that one. And then let's just delay it by just a little bit more than the other ones. And then we'll apply it. So we don't need to change either the stroke dash array or sorted offset lines because those already apply exactly how we want them to. So all we need to do is apply a new animation, and that's crown square center. And then again, 2 seconds, alternate, infinite. And then if we take a look at that, it now draws on nicely and has a little bit of delay, and it looks pretty good. So that is the basics of the animation that I created. So I challenge you to take a look at your animations and see if you can make something interesting as well for yours. Up next, I'm going to complete the rest of the design of it. So I'm going to create the background and the gradient stuff and add the title here. But this, where we're at right now, is the what I'm looking for from your project. If you like to go all out and create the background and the rest of it as well, you can. But if I open up the file and see something just like this, that's what I'm looking for your project. You can, again, try to push yourself, but that's not required.